Well, I'm feeling great. Any milestone makes you feel very happy and excited. The journey which started in 2010, and to see that we have completed 10 years is not only a great, but I think to a large extent motivational as well. And while we feel great about it, it also makes us responsible that we have a job to ensure that this journey continues in a manner desired. Well, my journey is 22 months old, so it has not been a long time for me in sustain, but it has been hugely exciting simply because of the fact that I do not have a backdrop of EPC, not the backdrop of project business. So that is what gave me a lot of new things to learn. The learning curve was northbound. And while I did that, there were so many project-specific excitement and at the same time challenges which I went through. I also realized that a project is like a 5-day test match where, sometimes the goings are great. You just sit back, relax, watch the fun, and suddenly you are hit with the roadblocks and challenges, and then you need to dig deep and trying to overcome the situation, for the whole team. So that's something that's pretty excited while I'm training the journey since last 22 months. Memorable, as I told you, 22 months, and a lot of things were new for me, including the people, the business. The best part, I would say, there are two things which comes memorable. They were simply because the manner in which we responded to those situations, which had its own set of challenges. The one was the international one, the first and the biggest project which we did in KSA, which was Sakaka. And there was a time when there was a huge challenges which we faced on the ground related to the workforce, and the manner we regrouped ourselves and rose to the occasion with respect to mitigating that challenge within a very tight schedule, I would say, and thinking that our ability to think, to execute in order to restore parity with respect to what we have intended for ourselves was something very satisfying. Something similar experience from project specific was at Kadapa site, which at that time was the largest which we were making, and considering the ground realities and also some of the people related issues, the local people related issue, the manner the team executed the 350 megawatt of the project, the construction part in first 5.5 months, not because of what they saw and faced there, but in spite of whatever they faced there. So that was something pretty heartening and inspiring as well. What inspires me, the work which we do, it is important that how much we can enjoy that, So my enjoyment comes from the novelty which this job had for me, the team which I have had, the young and energy, full of energy. The average age is 30 years, which adds to a lot of things which I look for. I keep on telling my team, and I will repeat here that, and in Hindi, I keep on telling that कि whatever we do, शाम को जाते समय संतुष्टि होनी चाहिए और अगले दिन सुबह आने की इच्छा होनी चाहिए. Till the time the answer to both these questions is yes, we are on right track. And I think we get a lot of opportunity and we have a lot of reason to do things on a daily basis, which ensures that the answer to both these questions is absolute yes. Well, I will divide this in two parts. One, because we are celebrating our 10 years, and I'm pretty sure that Das Ka Dam, which we have seen, will continue to move forward, for the next 10 years. So when I joined, I could see a lot of entrepreneur, enthusiasm and zeal. The company was and is being driven by the huge entrepreneurial ability, and which was so exciting to see that. And when you have a company and when you have a startup which travel this distance, a stage comes when you move from startup phase to the growth phase. And when this happens, you need to complement the skill sets. You need some new skill sets in order to calibrate our effort with respect to the new phase of the business which we are entering. And I'm very happy to share that the new skill sets with respect to the systems, the process, the governance model, all those things in last, I would say 15 to 20 months, the way team has responded to this, along with the entrepreneurial ability, which anyway it was very much there, visible. I'm pretty sure this is what is going to take sustain to the next level of growth phase, and in a manner in which we intend it to be. So that's the first. The second was, you asked me how we have coped with the pandemic, the last 6 months. We as an organization, I must say that our industry is a must-run status industry, and the way the team has responded across all the level is really heartening. And because of this aspect, few of our businesses have been able to do business as usual, and this wouldn't have happened if we would have not been able to adjusted ourselves by pressing the recalibration button to cope up with the pandemic and the disruption which we all are facing. The first 100 days, we showed a lot of resolve, which was followed by the resilience. And I wrote about this as well. And that was very much evident on the ground, which kept us going. The way I look at the situation, it's a variable goalpost. None of us know how things will move and how things will pan out moving forward. But the last 4 months, I would say for us was like survive. The next few months, maybe till December, is going to be revive. And after that, the next 3-4 months will be thrive. So I keep in these 3 buckets, how we went through the survive mode, and then we are at the moment going through the revive mode. And I'm pretty sure once we are done with this, come January, I have reason to believe that it will be a thrive mode for us. And that is what we are working towards. And I'm sure that all of us with optimism should be looking forward to that. Well, see, like any industry, technology is something which will continue to drive this industry as well. And we have already seen that through the module, how the technology has not only brought the cost of the solar energy much lower, but also has changed many things in the game. I strongly believe that this industry will see a lot of technology, mainly driven by the storage part, where we'll be able to store energy and solve the problem of round the clock the plant. Floating solar, which is I personally believe will be next big thing because of the difficulty in which we have in identifying and getting the land for ourselves. And so floating solar and hybrid plant is something which will be very, very important for all of us. I strongly believe that with the help of hybrid along with storage, this industry will see real competitive tariff, which can be better than thermal as well, because it will be 80% of plant utilization. And that is where the solar energy or the renewable energy can be really treated as a much more competitive. And that will be the real scenario where renewable energy will be not only here to stay, which is already here to stay. We all know the plan, but the way it will be adopted will be totally different. Well, I strongly believe that not only this industry, any industry, digitalization was something which all of us were very excited, and every organization its own way was trying to adopt to this. Now, because of this pandemic, I can tell you that the whole journey of expediting this digitalization space is, the journey is shortened by minimum 2 to 3 years, because everybody suddenly realized that this is a black swan event, and when this kind of event happens, how much difference the digitalization can do the way we conduct our business. And that's going to be one of the biggest reasons why digitalization space will see a lot of activity with whole objective of expediting this journey. We are not going to work the way we have been working, till date. A lot will change. And how big we become in digitalization and how good we become in digitalization is something which will also decide how we are going to operate or work, moving forward from here. So I personally believe it's going to be very, very important aspect, not only for this industry, but overall industry in general. Again, I think we are moving away from, at least for this industry, a conventional space of, the events, the brand promotion, the sponsorship, not to undermine any of these. We are becoming almost virtual, the way we have been operating. Last 7 months had made us much more virtual than what we were ever. And suddenly we realized the power of digital marketing. And for my organization, as good as this organization, as well as a typical industry, I strongly believe that digital marketing has power to connect, like never before, and in a shortest possible time. Not only you connect, but your ability to multiply the effort on the digital platform can be really, really huge. The ability to reach to the sheer number in shortest possible time is something which is going to make it a very potent force. And I think during this pandemic, not to say that we didn't realize that, didn't know this part, but during this last 6 months, I have reason to believe that what we have experienced during this pandemic, digital marketing will be becoming much more important in our industrial space. See, the way the situation, the circumstances, the landscape in which we completed our first 10 years was very, very different than what we are going to be in next 10 years. In India, this industry was more of a sunrise industry where, things took off, literally from 2014. And we all responded to the demand which got created, too much too soon. And the whole industry was more in a fulfilling the demand space. As we progress this 10 year, there is a lot of consolidation in this industry. The industry has matured like never before. And the best part about this industry is that India is looking at this business and this industry in a manner which is very different than other industries typically they are looking at it. So while when we say next 10 years, which is 2030, I would like to share that India has a target of 450 gigawatt by 2030. So our original target was 175 gigawatt by 2022. And while we traveled this distance, the government of India has revised this to 450 gigawatt by 2030. This is a space where India will, as a country, will like to take lead, not only from the business point of view, but also from a statesmanship point of view. And this is a space which suits Indian government based on whatever we have done. I strongly believe that we are traveling a journey of transition of energy from fossil fuel to clean and green energy. And I think that can be the best thing and the best reason for us to be in this space by moving from 2020 to 2030. This transition of energy is not only India specific, but this is global specific. And the way we have been addressing this space in last 10 years, I strongly believe that we have opportunity. We have a lot of excitement in this space to continue doing what we have been doing with different technology, more of technology, with different scale, bigger canvas. And we're continuing with the ethos and the value system and the governance model which we as Mahindra Sustain has while we address this business needs. While we address this business need, the most important and satisfying aspect for all of us can be that while we achieve our business objective, it comes along with fulfilling the society need, the need of a community, the nation and the globe, to ensure the transition from fossil fuel to clean and green energy, to make a life and the place a much better to live for. So coming to the ethos and value system, I think we all are aware about the 3 pillars of Mahindra, which is alternative thinking, accept no limit, and drive positive change. And we at Mahindra Sustain are no exception. I strongly believe that driving positive change and accepting no limits has helped us a lot, to look at the business in which we are in a manner which has suited us. And I'm pretty sure that we'll continue to practice these three pillars of Mahindra Rise, which is not only our pillars, the way we look at ourselves from governance point of view and attitude point of view, but also from the need of the business point of view. So it fits well in our overall strategy, and we'll continue to treat this journey. Yeah, I read a lot. And I can tell you, I read almost everything. Well, reading is important and reading is good. So I recommend read. That's for sure.
Okay.
I will not recommend a specific book because there are so many good books on so many topics and so many subjects. What is important for all of us? Whatever we have read, when we read, we learn. And also when we learn, it is important that how we put those learning in the real practice. So for me, rather than recommending any book on any topic, I would strongly recommend that whatever we read, and all of us like reading, subjects can be different, but every reading brings some learning. The key will be, and what I recommend very strongly, please pick up 2-3 things which we learn while we read to ensure that they become part of our life, in whatever way we can. And if we can do that, I think life will change, and and it will make our reading as a hobby, or as a habit much more relevant than what it can be. Well, see, it comes from different genre. Like I read autobiography, I read management, I read history, and all of them have real classic books, in all that field. So to recommend to pick up one book, from management might not be a great idea, because I have 2 books from the history which has really excited me and motivated me. But if you really push me and tell me only one book, then it will be a Marathi book, which is Mrityunjay, written by Shivaji Sawant, which is on Karna. So that is one book. If I'm pushed and I'm insisted that there has to be one book which I must mention, then this can be the book, but not to mention that this can be the only book. Well, I don't think I have modeled myself on any particular leader, but I have learned a lot with many people with whom I have spent my time with. So I can't say that I would like to be the mirror image of anybody, but I have tried to embrace and imbibe the learnings which I have by virtue of I meeting them, by virtue of reading about them, and by virtue I'm learning about them through my networking and through my friends. All put together, I think we have so many things in our real life to get influenced, from people, the way they have conducted themselves, the way they have looked and approached the business, or in whichever space they have been. So no one particular name, because I have seen some of my colleagues whom I've worked with. I have learned from them also. Now we all are leader in our own space, mother is the biggest leader, at home, and we are first exposed to that kind of leadership. So I don't think I can take one particular name, but again, like a book, if you push me, when I used to well, I personally believe that when we work, like you asked me that what's your most memorable moment, what's the fun, what the enjoying part of our work. I strongly believe that we must believe our heart while we listen to our mind. And when I say this, I strongly believe that we must do what we feel like doing. But for some reason, if we can't, we must enjoy whatever we are doing. And I would say that if we enjoy our work, we don't have to find. I create my life in moments, or I create my memories moment. I do not look for big events where I can have draw some memorable or special moments from those events. A life is in moments. It comes on daily basis. So it is important that we link ourselves to the small moments which we live in on daily basis. In the work, I can only tell you, do what you want to do, because that's 50% of the job. Because after that, you can be a very different person when you are pursuing what you wanted to. For some reason, if it is can't, we have enough reason to still become special in whatever we are doing. And I strongly believe that, and as a leader, I try to ensure that am I becoming better than what I was yesterday? And the same expectation I have for my team as well. So two things for me, I try my best to ensure that I provide a platform for my team to operate in a best possible manner. Because if I can't do that, it will be not right to expect them the activity which we want to do. While we do that and while we perform, we also must try to see that evolving on daily basis. And that is only when we try to see that are we becoming better than what we were yesterday. Many times we tend to compare with others, but you never know, and how many you will compare yourself with, and everybody his own story and own struggle. The way I look at how we can evolve ourselves is by ensuring that we become better than what we were yesterday. And that has to be a perpetual journey. That has to be an ever evolving journey. Well, I can tell you one thing. Somebody else's normal life is somebody else's dream. So the second part of it, we all will have challenges. Life is like a sporting event, and I, being a sports fan, I can correlate life with any sport, whether it's a football match, cricket match. Sometime in cricket match, you wait for 2 days for your turn to come to bat, because the opening batsmen they're playing so well that you don't have to bat at all. You relax in the dressing room, see the fun. Sometimes you are fielding for 3 days. The opposition team, the captain doesn't even declare, and you have to field and be on the ground for 3 days. So life can be both. Important is, and anyway, life is only, 10% what happens to you and 90% how you deal with it. Because we cannot control what happens to us. What we can control, what will be my response to that. So it's more about us and less about the situation, because that anyway cannot be controlled. So focus on what can be controlled, and focusing more on that. And remember one thing, that our life is somebody else's dream. So that's very important to understand, because once we know that, our ability to cope up with the challenges and the situation in which we are can be different. The only thing I would like to tell, that it's very special, when you complete your 10 years for any organization, any milestone must be cherished, must be enjoyed, and it should become part of our memory. But we must know one thing, that any milestone makes us much more responsible, because when you start, the expectations are not as high. But when you achieve some success, and when you achieve milestone, what changes in the first year and 10th year is the baggage of expectation, the baggage of responsibility, which we have for ourselves, the manner in which we have conducted for ourselves and contributed not only to the financial goal, but also to the society, for the sheer fact that the kind of business which we are in. Now, these are the things which we should take cognizance of, and these are the things which should be the epicenter of whatever we do in the next 10 years. And while we do it, improving our learning curve with respect to adaptation of technology, because that is going to change, with respect to the skill sets which we will have to learn, because we are moving from the startup to the growth to expansion phase. So we will need a different type of skill set to adjust ourselves to these growing needs of an organization. And this calibration with the organizational need and our the change which we need to bring in ourselves as an individual and also as a team and as a culture of the organization. This recalibration and reboot journey will be pretty exciting, while we treat this journey of not only the business need, but also the society need.